Everyone knows that public nuisance streamers that go around harassing strangers, causing a commotion, and just making everyone's lives around them more miserable suck. Like, that's not a hot take. Everyone knows that. They're just this miasma of cringe that cause everyone a massive headache. But, as I and many others have pointed out for years now, they do inspire an entire generation of young viewers to be losers like them. Because they do find an audience, they do find success, they make money from it. So it becomes a career path and something that young kids want to do to try and emulate that behavior and be like them. It's fucking tragic, and now we're starting to see the results of all of this.
What the fuck? Put your hand in my food again, and I'm throwing all of your phones.
Hey, you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that.
This young whippersnapper can't be older than 11 years old, and he's already becoming a scourge. He's trying to do what all of the other public nuisance streamers do by just being a societal hemorrhoid. He still has his baby teeth. He hasn't even gotten his adult teeth yet, and he's already doing this shit. He just graduated from suckling milk out of his mother's bosom, and now he's trying to suckle milk out of Jack Doherty's titties here. He's just trying to get that clout through being a piece of shit. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Charles, are you really going to be insulting an 11-year-old here? And the answer is a resounding absolutely. This needs to be squashed. You gotta put the kibosh on this immediately to learn that this is not acceptable at all. So absolutely, I will be insulting this kid and the entire goof troop that travels with him for these streams. Now, he has thankfully been banned for this, which is one of the very few times I've ever seen Kick ban someone. I imagine it's not a permaban, but it 100% should be. I guess we'll have to wait and see if it is. Yeah, though, this shit absolutely super sucks. So I'm doing a public service here by insulting them. Hopefully it discourages more people like this, and hopefully this kid grows and learns that it's awful. It's not even good content. People are watching you because you are a clown, and they're sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for you to get your ass beat. That is your entire audience. You are a fucking spittoon that they are spitting in. Why would you want that to be your whole brand? His whole stream is basically either arguing or fighting people, and this is him just taking food from a stranger's table. That lady then goes up to confront him, and I'll show you that clip in a moment, but in the same stream, he also gets in an actual fistfight with some other kids. His whole stream is just creating problems and instigating, hoping that someone will fight back, and he just yells and screams about it, or in this case, throws some wet noodle punches at them. So him and his goof troop fight this other group, and they know that they're not going to get their ass beat because they're too young. So the group that's taking these punches doesn't actually fire back. They push him away at one point, but they don't actually swing on him because they know they would be the ones that get in trouble because this is a toddler. So they're using their age as a shield because they know there's going to be no real repercussions.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that to people.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Stop filming me.
You're a nobody.
It's a live stream. You can't stop it.
Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you?
Give me the phone.
Now you're not touching my fucking phone. Touch my phone, I'm gonna actually do something.
Are you gonna beat me up?
Back the fuck up. Back the fuck. I will.
How old are you? 5?
Kid's making threats to this woman, then he also has his friend, behind her just in case. It seems like he was contemplating sucker punching her. That's what it seemed like the synapses in his brain were about to fire and tell him to do there. This is his whole stream with him and his friends just wandering around, making problems with complete strangers for no reason. And I'm also using the term friends very loosey-goosey here because I have a hunch that they're not actually his friends. They probably can't stand to be around this annoying shit stain. They're just here because he has some viewers and they're trying to elevate themselves. That's typically how these stories go. I think it's also worth mentioning that he has clearly been heavily inspired by Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty is another public nuisance streamer who does this exact same style of content where he just travels around, makes problems, causes a ruckus, and he has a bodyguard with him so that when anyone tries to confront Jack, the bodyguard steps in and either attacks that person or scares them away and sizes them up, gets them out of there to protect Jack Doherty from the consequences of his actions while Jack peeks around the bodyguard still lobbing insults at him like a real tough guy. Also, Jack Doherty is probably about the same size as this 11-year-old. So, the reason I say that he's clearly inspired by him is because this kid also travels around with a bodyguard. That's who that dweeb with the TikTok broccoli hair was that's positioned behind the woman here. That's supposed to be this kid's muscle. Or backup, perhaps. Maybe sidekick. I believe it's supposed to be his bodyguard, though, like Jack Doherty has. But the clear difference between Jack Doherty's bodyguard and this kid's is Jack's is a full-grown adult man who is like a professional bodyguard. This kid's is another child who's still afraid of the dentist and probably still wearing Pampers and the head of the anime club. But he is still trying very hard to be like Jack Doherty. And the question needs to be asked, where are their parents? Where in the fucking world are these kids' parental figures?
Do you think I'd go fine, look? Do you? Alright, hold up. Do you?
Don't do that again.
Hold up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Let's go.
I couldn't imagine anything more painful as a parent than seeing your son like this, or any of the kids in this group here. It'd be less shameful if they were just addicted to heroin. Now, I know a lot of people default to blaming the parents here because that's a really easy thing to point the finger at, especially with so many parents just sitting their kids in front of an iPad and letting them doom scroll the internet and letting the internet raise their kids. But in a case like this, I don't necessarily know if that's 100% how this happened. I think even if you're someone who's very active in their kids' lives, they can just stumble across something like a kick streamer like Jack Doherty and see him flexing his wealth and be, you know, blown away by that, getting stars in their eyes and be like, I want to be like that. And no matter what the parent does, they can't really snap them out of it. That's just something the kid's going to have to learn through failure and learning that they're going to end up alone and a loser by trying to be like Jack Doherty. But I think there is a clear problem here that the parents aren't here. Like, they're just letting their 11-year-olds wander around IRL streaming. Under no circumstances should a child of this age be fucking IRL streaming on Kick. Kick is a platform that actually has child predators on it. There was a whole expose video about a big streamer who was legitimately a fucking predator. And their kids are now streaming IRL on that platform right now. And even on any platform, I don't think any kids should be doing any kind of streams like this. So I really am curious why the parents aren't more present in their life to allow them to stream for hours like this. That's just downright irresponsible, 100%. But I don't necessarily blame them for the kid trying to be a Jack Doherty clone, a bootleg Jack Doherty. That's something that even if the parents were monitoring their internet usage, he may have just stumbled across through TikTok or Twitter or something and then just got hooked on it. And that's a hard thing to stop as a parent. I do understand that part, but they definitely need to know that this is not acceptable behavior or normal behavior for kids to be doing. Fucking streaming, being an asshole. Come on. The parents definitely got to step up here and do something, I would say. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be the last time we see a kid start to do streams like this. I really do think that streamers like Jack Doherty, who I keep name dropping, but it's just so clear his influence on this kid's life, really do create further degenerates. They just continue this cycle of degeneracy by making more people like this. And it sucks. That shit is terrible. So hopefully I'm wrong and we won't see more cases like this, but man, it's still awful. Even with just one case, that one kid was inspired enough to start trying to do the same thing. It's sad to see. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. We hear about the Florida woman who got her entire driveway stolen. How does that work? Single mother's future in jeopardy after thief steals driveway. How? No way. Now playing above, it's this right here. This is where they put the news segment in the tiniest box on the screen.
And now our Nick Papantonis is looking into the situation.
Well, I'm going to speculate on how they might have done this crime. So they obviously needed some kind of heavy industrial machinery, right? And seeing the recent rise in forklift-related crimes, my guess is somehow they used a forklift, got the tongs under the driveway, and peeled up each individual piece of pavement. And then just stacked it and drove it away. That's my guess. I think a forklift was the culprit. Well, not like a sentient forklift, but like that was the tool used by the culprit.
Ready for Christmas.
Of all the things that you worried about getting stolen, did you think the driveway was one of them?
No,
what kind of fucking question is that? Hey, out of all the possible things that could have been stolen from your house, did you ever think it'd be your driveway? Like, fucking obviously not. That's not a thought any sane person would ever have. Like, you can't exactly padlock your driveway. No one's gonna ever consider that the Grinch might come through and just take the whole pavement up. Why even ask that question? It's super stupid.
One told Brochu a Tampa area man identified
Oh,
as
Tampa.
Andre asked
Let's
them
go.
to price out a replacement.
Again.
1 week later, this
Oh, let's
image
go.
from Brochu's doorbell camera captured a bulldozer tearing out the concrete and hauling it away.
Jesus
Utter
Christ.
shock. I've never seen this before.
Oh for 1 on guesses it was a bulldozer, not a forklift.
And believes Brochu is the victim of a scam. But neither woman knows what
Such a
scam
weird,
is.
yeah, it's a
Had
weird
multiple people
scam.
come forward saying that they've seen things like this happen, whether it be driveways, roofs, painting, even outside the exterior. So it's happens more often than we actually see it.
Deputies have launched a
I just don't
criminal
believe that. Why would this happen often? What do they get out of it? I mean, I guess the cat's probably happy about it. They like dirt. But what is the scam? So you have their driveway now. Then what? How do you get money out of it? Do you hold it for ransom? Because even they're saying they don't exactly know what the goal is with it. Can't have shit in Florida, they stole the damn driveway. True. So the house value goes down. I guess, but are they making an offer on the property? Because if not, you get nothing out of it other than just fucking with them. So I guess it could just be evil for the sake of being evil. What a crazy heist.
Tonight. What a bizarre story.
Couldn't agree more there. What a bizarre story indeed. Stealing a whole fucking driveway for no reason. This is some shit out of Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like, actually cartoon logic. Like, stealing a driveway is actually something out of Cartoon Network. The only thing that makes sense is what the chatter said, driving the property value down to make an offer on the house. But it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing, so it really feels completely worthless, and they just stole a driveway just because they had the equipment to do so. There's a guy in Detroit who had his whole porch stolen. Recently? Detroit man says his porch was stolen. This was in 2018. Oh my god. This was in 2018. What the fuck? That is interesting. Oh, wait, it's not real. The first update here. I did it all out of laughs to entertain social media. So this one's fake, but the stealing driveway one's not. Did you see that the Pistons finally won a game? Did I see that the Pistons finally won a game? You bet your sweet bippy I did. I'm a little upset because I predicted they would beat the Celtics, and they almost did. The best meme I saw about it is the Pistons miraculously overcame a 21-point lead in order to lose in the end to the Celtics. And I predicted they would beat them. And they lost. So then I was totally resigned to just let the Pistons lose 60 straight. And then they come back today and they fucking win. It actually made me mad because I could have looked like a prophet. I actually would have looked like a legitimate, like what are they called? Soothsayer? To get that prediction right would have been big for me. But I got it wrong. They won today though. So they snapped the 28-game losing streak. I was reading some of the memes here. I didn't watch the game, I just saw that they posted this. And usually when they post final, it means the Pistons lost in another triumphant fashion. But they actually won, and I was looking at some of the memes. So, Winghouse said every time the Pistons win a game, it's 5 free wings. And that's been a big joke because the Pistons lost for 3 months now, or 2 months, whatever. So it's just been this meme about how everyone's starving, like, oh, no wings, Wingstop got the easiest advertisement ever because they don't have to give away wings because the Pistons can't win. So now I've just been going through the memes here.
Sure hungry. Rev up those fryers, because I am sure hungry.
It's been pretty fire, actually. All they need to do is win 50 games in a row to make the playoffs. That's what I'm predicting. I think now's the time. They got 28 games worth of losses, and as the old adage goes, you learn more from failure than you do success. So they've got tons of invaluable knowledge now. I think they win 50 straight. What does your new tattoo mean? Absolutely nothing. I just really like the design. This time around, I told myself this next tattoo I was getting was going to have meaning. So I once again got a meaningless tattoo. But Dagnabbit, I think it looks nice. It's not done yet. I still have to go back, but that's basically the bones of it. It's a balloons map. Yeah, kinda. Once it's finished, it'll be less balloons-esque, but I really like it. I really like how it's coming out. You did this, they could have gotten rid of the 76ers all-time loss record, now they tied it, fuck you. Hey man, I got it wrong. I said they were winning last game. So it's not my fault. Surprisingly, this isn't new. Look up entire driveway stolen in Central Florida. Happened in 2012. This isn't the first driveway being stolen? Yeah, well, you're right. This also happened in Florida too. Man, Florida thieves love driveways. A woman in Reddick, Florida didn't even have to open her front door to realize she had been robbed. That's because thieves stole her driveway. Well, the brick pavers that made up the driveway. Is there footage of it? No. The victim arrived home around 6 p.m. on Tuesday and felt a large bump as she attempted to turn into where her driveway had once been. She got out and realized it was gone. Apparently neighbors didn't think anything of it because construction workers had recently built a barn elsewhere on her property, so no one stopped the thieves as they took the bricks. Thoughts on Mickey Mouse becoming public domain? Oh, yeah. That happens on January 1st. Mickey Mouse is hitting the public domain. Well, Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. Which is fine. We're going to use him in the MWL, mark my words. We'll have him fight against other public domain property like Winnie the Pooh. Right around the same time as Epstein's List. I wonder what Steamboat Willie was up to. Oh, interesting correlation. So I can promote my own movies with a whistling mouse. I guess. You can use Winnie the Pooh right now if you want. There's a lot of public domain property that you probably don't realize is public domain. Though I think most people know Winnie the Pooh is because of the god-awful horror movie. Did you hear about that devil comet that's going to explode in the next few days before it reaches Earth? We've got to stop naming like comets and asteroids like this. God of Chaos, now the devil comet. Devil comet bigger than Mount Everest racing towards Earth and is set to explode soon. These headlines, brother, please. This isn't Mass Effect. This isn't like the Reapers are coming, please. The Devil Comet, officially known as 12P, what a name, Near Automata shit, is currently making its way towards Earth and is anticipated to undergo a significant eruption soon. This comet, which is nearly 3 times the size of Mount Everest, is classified as a cryovolcano, which means it erupts due to the buildup and ignition of gas and ice, much like a frozen soda can. That is so badass. The comet is notably large with a diameter of 18.6 miles. That is wild. It's a very short period comet, completing an orbit around the sun approximately every 71 years. A pattern to the well-known Halley's Comet. Comets like this with an orbital period of less than 200 years are categorized as short period. Comet 12P Pons-Brooks is not a recent discovery. Its existence has been acknowledged since 1812, when it was first observed by comet hunter Jean-Louis Pons, who noted it at a 4th magnitude brightness. However, initial observations were not detailed enough to accurately forecast its future appearances. I'm about to scare you with one little word: moderators. When I say Twitch mod or Reddit mod, Discord mod, you immediately get a picture of someone in your head, and it's not a very flattering image, I imagine. You're probably picturing someone that looks like Urgot out of League of Legends. You know, someone with pizza grease dripping down their poop-stained trousers in a dark room. Some sex-obsessed loser who's always just scheming and talking about getting laid. It's become a very negative title. It's mainly just become an insult. You know, you call someone a Twitch mod during an argument like, "Hey, Buster, stupid face, you look like a Twitch mod." It's like, "Oh, why I never? What did you say to me? Twitch mod? Put him up then, tough guy." You know, it's just, it's a title that's got a very bad reputation over the last few years, and right now there's a viral clip going around where it's claiming a Twitch mod said these really weird things during a stream moment.
But I met a girl who's a streamer. I went up to her, I hugged her, and I came in my pants. Wow. Hug you.
Man's looking like he's about to come in his pants again just talking about it, reminiscing on the glory days of that hug. So, the title that's going around with this video is that this is a Twitch mod for a famous female streamer. And that's not exactly the truth of this situation. That's a bogus, phony baloney story here, a load of horseradish just used to generate extra clicks and attention on the video. I actually immediately recognized the guy in the video here because I'm like a fucking librarian when it comes to internet degeneracy. I'm like Jarvis in Tony Stark's Iron Man suit, just this damn near omniscient AI, but all I can fixate on is dog shit internet weird stuff. So I recognized him, and he is like a real-world anime character full of mystery and mystique. There is actually an entire pseudo-documentary about him, which I'll talk about a little bit more, but let me show you the rest of the clip before doing a full dive.
I think you need to get laid a little more often, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was she hot though? Was she like super duper duper hot?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's forgivable if she was super duper duper hot.
Yeah.
Now, if she was only super duper hot, this would be unforgivable, but she was super duper duper hot, and I mean, I think we can all understand a little premature ejaculation from hug contact there, obviously. I mean, that's the threshold, that's the rules. So that's the clip that's really popped off, because it's a goofily, awful, embarrassing moment captured, and he is very proud about the ejaculatory experience here from a simple hug. Like, actual busted nut from a hug. I mean, that's something that you couldn't torture that information out of me. Like, you couldn't waterboard me enough to have me admit to ejaculating from a fucking hug. And yet, here's this man at a bar just telling it like it's an old war story or something, and he's got like an audience around him that's like, oh, interesting there, brother, what the fuck? Yeah, it's a very weird clip. And people keep pointing and laughing at him, obviously, but they also keep calling him a Twitch mod. And that's just not accurate. Now, full transparency here, there is a possibility that he was at some point someone's Twitch mod, but it's not who they were claiming, and he's not known for being a mod of any popular streamers or any female streamers for that matter, but there is a chance that he does or has modded for someone or some people in the past. That information I don't fully have knowledge on, but I do know a lot more about this guy than most people seem to, which is surprising because he's actually very well known in the Twitch community. There is a whole documentary about him. He was a 27-year-old virgin at the time of filming this video here, and it's a very open and honest look into his whole life. He became known for his extremely aggressively sexual comments in people's stream chats, female streamers' stream chats, as well as his tweets, where they're all just sexually charged. A lot of them are about pegging and just how often he's nutting, making his cum face, his orgasm face. Like, it's all very sexually charged stuff. So he got a reputation for being, like, creepy for that. And what's very interesting is that he actually opens this interview with the channel Built Differently with the exact same speech, the exact same proud monologue that he just gave in this viral clip that came out 2 days ago.
Well, there was one time when I met ST Peach. She gave me a hug. I met her the first time, and I ended up jizzing my pants. I ended up leaving the convention, going back to my hotel room, changing my underwear and my pants, and then going back to the convention.
It's got sad music playing like Mr. Krabs on the world's smallest violin, but he seems very proud of this. He's now told this story twice. This feels like it must have been the most exciting moment of his entire being. Like, the entire 27 years he's spent on this planet all led up to that moment of filled trousers from the hug. So, like, he's just very upfront with everything about himself, and he is a virgin, or was a virgin when this was filmed, which I imagine most of you are saying, like, yeah, that sounds about right. That's par for the course being a moderator. But his story, like his X-Men origin story, is probably a little different than what you're expecting. He is a virgin by choice. He had a girlfriend, he says it'd been about 10 years, and the reason they broke up is because he didn't want to fuck her without a condom, and she was insistent on him clapping her cheeks raw. I mean, of course, you have to take all this with a grain of salt. There's a possibility he's just making up erotica fanfic here. It could not be real, but he is telling this story about his previous girlfriend, and now it's been 10 years, and he doesn't masturbate, and he doesn't watch porn. All he does now is have wet dreams and make sexually charged tweets and shit all the time. He also then told a story about how he went up to some girl's hotel room during a convention, and she got naked, and then he said, "Nope, I'm out of here, not doing that." He is saving himself for the right girl. So he is a virgin by choice until he meets a fucking angel. Which is totally fine. You know, he shouldn't feel pressured into having sex if he doesn't want to. But then on the flip side of that coin, why is he always talking about sex? Like, that is his whole brand, is always talking about sex. He has built a reputation on Twitter for, like, replying to female streamers' tweets with, like, pictures of himself and then making conversational sexual topics out of it. It's very weird. So if he is choosing not to have sex, why does he just always talk about it? And then in the same interview, the interview is fascinating, by the way. In that same interview, he says that there's really no streamer that he'd even want to date. Yet he is always, like, horny posting in their chats and on Twitter. It's so interesting.
I think one other time, this was like the third TwitchCon, but this was like at a party when I was drunk. Yeah. There was a bunch of girls dancing up on me, and then I just, like, yeah.
That's badass.
Dallas.
He's also just constantly dumping yogurt into his pants anytime there's physical contact with a woman, it seems. He tells a couple instances here where he once again blows his load in his pants. Like, this is the beginning of the beginning of the interview here. So he was just, like, proud of it, it seems.
Like, 3 times out of the week, I usually wake up and it's like a puddle. If I did, I would feel out of place. You know what I mean? It's not.
Oh, dude, I just forgot that you come on this bed. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be sitting on it. Yeah,
Now, since he doesn't masturbate, allegedly, it sounds like his body is rebelling against him, so he says about 3 times a week he wakes up in puddles of cum. That's a terrible way of starting your day. Waking up in a puddle of cum, just splashing in cum every time you wake up, that sounds fucking terrible. And what I want to talk about briefly here is the way his room is decorated. You can see all of the Twitch merchandise, Twitch everything, and then a Twitch streamer's photo on the shelf behind his bed. So he very clearly lives and breathes the Twitch ecosystem, and I legitimately do find that very sad. I don't think anyone should make a hobby their whole personality, no matter what it is. Whether you're a big fan of Twitch streamers or anything like that, it should never become your whole personality, where everything you do kind of revolves around it, and that's the impression I kind of get from him. Where he spends so much time in all of these streamers' chats, and a lot of what he says is sexually charged, and it translates into the real world where he has all of this Twitch stuff everywhere, including, like, a picture of a streamer that he really, really likes. It almost makes it seem like something out of Hey Arnold with Helga and, like, the monument she builds for Arnold. It's just, it's an obsession, and that's not good.
Fear because I ejaculate so much in my sleep that the first girl I ever have sex with, I'm gonna end up getting her pregnant. I also know that because, like, I got tested for my sperm, and it's like, I got, like, those double-headed. My sperm count is up there.
The potent god seed, I suppose. Talking about, like, double-headed sperm. Man's got fucking chimera sperm, I guess. Wild stuff. Like I said, it's a very fascinating interview. They eventually take him to a strip club. It's all very wacky. But yeah, I guess the only thing I really wanted to focus on is that the story is wrong around that clip. He's not a Twitch mod. He's something much more than that. He's been well known in the community for a long time now. And still, of course, a very weird clip. In fact, a series of very weird clips from him, and very weird tweets and Twitch chat messages over the years. But yeah, I just want to talk about this a little bit, and that's about it. So yeah. Hey Sneako, does this outfit look familiar? This is the same thing I wore last time I took you over my knee and spanked your bottom with some discipline. And I'm happy to report that these are back in stock, and a lot more, at moistglobal.com. Last time I talked about you, I used you for a merchandise push as well, so might as well stick with tradition. I bet just seeing me in this attire again has just sent you on a full-blown Winter Soldier episode with your eyes rolling into the back of your skull as you're experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder, because the first video I made on you offended you to such a high degree that you have not stopped whining since. It's already been 3 months, can you believe that? How time flies. You started shit with me by insulting me and my girlfriend out of nowhere, so naturally I responded by making fun of you in return, and showcasing the reasons why I don't respect you. But unfortunately I failed to calculate just how much of a sensitive fucking loser you are, because this hurt your feelings to such a high degree it's become like an Armageddon in your brain. 3 months you have continued to melt down about this. The day after I posted my response, he went on stream and had a huge unhinged tantrum and meltdown about the whole thing, and then he sent some of his viewers over. So I was joking with them, saying like, oh, you guys must have just stopped the cuties watch party over there at Sneako's stream, right? Welcome, cucks, that kind of shit. And it got really under his skin in a big way, so he started dancing around with the gun and threatening to come shoot me. So he kept saying, oh, you're in Tampa, right? I'll come see you, waving his gun around and dancing.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips. These are the only clips I'm watching, you were?
Now the reason he keeps saying watch my clips while threatening me here is because during the stream I couldn't watch him live because he just kept shouting slurs. So I said, watch my clips to see what I was saying about you. I had to communicate via Twitch clips. And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid here. Anyway, sorry for the gun anatomy lesson. He was very upset, so he was threatening to come shoot me, beat me up, all of that, because I hurt his feelings, and it's been festering for quite some time now. 3 fucking months. You love to bitch about how everyone's canceling you. These soy boy NPC bots are all canceling you. It's all you do. You treat the teenagers in your Discord like they're your goddamn therapist. Just going in there to complain about the invisible boogeyman canceling you again, shaking your fist at the clouds. I also love that you treat this Discord server like it's your PR team, so you have them work on your responses on Twitter because you're not witty enough to come up with anything on your own. You have no ability to banter. You can't insult anyone. Anytime you're pushed, all you fall back on is one of 3 things: soy boy, bot, or NPC, and that's it. You never deviate from this path. Which is ironic, because you're like literally a sheep. You have 3 programmed responses. You're like the absolute worst character, side character in an MMO. It's pathetic. But I'm getting sidetracked. You love to be super public about how much you hate antidepressants and you shit on anyone who takes antidepressants, but with the way you talk in your Discord server, I'm pretty convinced that you're only 2 or 3 messages away from asking your community to source antidepressants for you under the table to help with all this mental anguish you're going through. And I think that'd honestly be a good idea. It might help you. But I'm putting the cart before the horse here. How did we get to this point? Well, I made that video about Sneako, and I fully planned on that being the only time I ever talked about this asshole. I really did. All I wanted to do was highlight why I personally don't respect him. I know a lot of people criticize me for not tackling his points, and to that I say, bah humbug, this fucking goober didn't make any points. All he did was insult me and my girlfriend. He insulted me and my girlfriend because I made fun of one of his friend's blatantly fake stories. He resorted to childish name-calling like, I'm ugly, and I don't go outside. That's not making any points. Like, what am I supposed to debunk there? No, actually, my mom thinks I'm handsome, and so does my girlfriend, so you're wrong, factually wrong. There's nothing to debunk. The whole point of the video was highlighting why I don't respect him. I'll go ahead and briefly give you a previously on Dragon Ball Z lore recap to bring you up to speed on the points I was making for why I think he is a pathetic piece of shit, and his opinion holds no value in my eyes. Is because he publicly defends Cuties as one of his favorite movies. Cuties was a Netflix film that used real child actresses in sexual situations, so they sexualized real children. A fact that Sneako himself acknowledges, but writes off as being okay because it's realistic, because in the real world children get sexualized. I'll say it again, regardless of what the intention of the film was, they missed the mark because what ended up happening is they sexualized the child actresses. That is a problem. Full stop. Even if the message was supposed to be the opposite, they still ended up contributing to the very problem they were speaking out against.
I saw Cuties last night and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I went in ready to hate like everybody else. I saw the cover and I got clickbaited. So did you. You got clickbaited. The thing about Cuties is it's not an unrealistic film. Like, yes, it shows children in a sexual way, but this is not unusual now. And the people who are really mad about this aren't Gen Z.
Imagine claiming children in sexual positions is clickbait. Yikes. That's rough. You admit that the children were sexualized. That is bad. Okay? That means the movie failed in its mission. I don't know what you don't get about that. But regardless, I'm not here to just keep hammering home the same points. Another thing that I talked about for a reason I don't respect him is because he battles with his own sexuality. He is very public about how he used to go to these swinger parties, I think he says 4 in total over the course of like 2 weeks, where he watched his girlfriend get fucked by other men. Even telling the story of how he was literally in the bed watching his girl get fucked by a different man, moaning intensely, and it was traumatizing. Yet he recommends that everyone should try it at some point for some reason.
Because this was, imagine seeing the girl you love, like,
get fucked.
Get fucked.
You love her?
Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah, I love her. I was about to say I love this bitch. I'm like, no, let me not say that. I love my wifey, my queen.
And you allowed the love of your life to get fucked by another man.
What happened to the other?
I'm crazy. The first time, as soon as I saw it, like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked out. I'm just like, I can't do that. Like, feeling traumatic thoughts, like seeing her with another person. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I think it's something everybody should do just to test. You know what?
So my point with this was, why is this the guy that's lecturing everyone on their relationships, shitting on people's relationships, when he himself is in one that makes him very upset and he can't come to terms with it? Now, if he's open about being a cuck and happy and proud to be a cuck, that's fine. But he's not. It makes him mad every single time. So why the fuck is this insecure guy the one that's the moral authority on healthy relationships all of a sudden? That was the point of me bringing up that clip. Now, that was basically the whole video. I summed it up real quick. All I pointed out is I don't respect his opinion because he defends a movie I consider to be child porn. I think any film or any production that has real children being sexualized should be classified as child porn. That's how I view it. Maybe your definition's different, but that's how I personally view that kind of content. So him defending that was beyond reprehensible to me. And him being very public with his cuckoldry and how scarring it has been, it should be a lesson and an example that he himself is not great when it comes to relationships and all these things. And I posted that and it made him extremely upset and he hasn't stopped fucking crying about it for 3 months. So, fast forward to 2 days ago. I was streaming a Moist Esports tournament and I went up to go to the bathroom. I had to take a shit. It was a double flusher. So I was on the toilet for quite some time and I saw a Sneako post that he's posted quite a few times now and I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing anything else right now on the porcelain throne. I'll play in the pig pen. So I did. For 3 months now, Sneako's had this adorable little collage that he made that looks like it's straight out of a 16-year-old girl's diary with pictures of boys from her class that she doesn't like. All about people that have hurt his feelings. This is his wall of shame for people that have insulted him online. What's even sadder about it is he purposely leaves out people that he's afraid of. So Turkey Tom, for example, made a whole video talking about Sneako and how pathetic he is, and Sneako tried to talk a big game to him, even challenged him to a debate, which Turkey Tom accepted with jubilation. He was ecstatic. And then Sneako kept ducking him, ghosting him. So he leaves Turkey Tom off of this list because he's afraid to actually talk to him. And he also leaves off quite a few other people, but the most notable other one that is comical for the absence is Brandon Buckingham. Brandon Buckingham is an internet content creator that Sneako lied about for a long time, and they had a lot of beef, and Brandon Buckingham actually challenged him to a fight. And Sneako is very fearful of him. We'll get into that more in depth in a moment, but I just need to set the stage a little bit here with this collage. So after seeing this for the 100th time in the last 3 months, I finally just said, holy shit, you pathetic, sensitive, soy little worm. I made fun of you for watching your girlfriend get fucked by numerous other men and also insulted you for defending child porn. That's not cancellation. That's just spitting on you for being a pitiful, sad cuck. And this puppy really blew up on Twitter in a big way. Now, I will say it again. What I did, and what I am doing right now, is not canceling you, Sneako. I am insulting you. I am making fun of you. Something that you were supposed to be a huge proponent of, right? Wasn't like one of your big things like bullying needs to be brought back. So now that I'm making fun of you, what, all of a sudden now it's off limits, now it's canceling? You have become the SJWs that you criticize so much. I don't know how you don't realize that. We continue. He says, "You know in your soul you would never say that to my face." To which I respond, "You literally have a collage of people that hurt your feelings on the internet. You haven't stopped whining about me for months now, you goofy NPC. Even if you beat my ass in a fight, it doesn't change the truth. You're still a cuck who also defends child porn." I think this is important to talk about, and I just talked about it recently. When you are getting your feelings hurt and your immediate response isn't to fire back with insults, jokes, whatever, it's to challenge someone to a fight, you've taken a huge L. You've shown that the person has got under your skin, and the only thing you can resort to is a caveman brain of, "I'll beat you in a fight." Sneako, you beating me in a fight doesn't unfuck your girlfriend from the numerous men that had sex with her in front of you. It doesn't do anything. Everything I've said still stands. Nothing changes. It doesn't even salvage your ego. All it is a pathetic fucking attempt at attention. And I don't think you believe half the things you talk about. I really think Sneako just panders as much as possible. He himself doesn't even stand by the things he talks about. I really don't think he has any beliefs of his own. He just echoes what he thinks is going to get him the biggest audience / the most money. That's what I think. So this puffing out his chest of challenging me to a fight is clearly attention. That's what it feels like. Because you don't have the same energy for Brandon Buckingham. Brandon Buckingham is more than willing to fight you any day of the week. But with him, you don't want to do that for some reason. Why? Do you not stand by your beliefs when it comes to Brandon Buckingham? He has said all the same things about you that I am saying about you. So why is he exempt? Why don't you want to fight him? That's so weird. This is what you said about Brandon Buckingham and fighting him.
And then finally, when Brandon Buckingham is down to meet Sneako, he's there to box him. They're both similar sizes. Sneako would now rather just sit at home and tell jokes behind his computer.
I'd rather sit at home and yell at a camera, tell jokes than, risk my manhood falling flat for Brandon Buckingham, if I lose the fight.
So now it's suddenly cool to just stay at home and keep it all online.
The full video here from Willie Mack is an absolute masterpiece on laying out every pathetic thing that Sneako has ever done, said, or everything ever. So I highly recommend checking it out. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's a banger. So, as you can see, the people he's confident in fighting are ones that he feels confident he'd win against. I'm 5'6", I think he's 6'1", so the height advantage he feels very confident with. And he has every reason to. He would probably beat me in a fight. But like I said, that doesn't change anything. Everything I've said is still true. You are a cuck, self-admitted, and you have defended cuties publicly, which, by more than just me, by many, is considered child porn. You're pathetic. Beating me in a fight doesn't change any of those facts. I've also been super vocal about how I don't want to fight. Like, I'm not afraid to say, like, I don't want to get hit in the head, right? Like, I'm afraid of taking headshots. It's probably a super normal fear to have, so I'm averse to going into a boxing match, especially one that's just a clout-driven spectacle like this. That'd be completely fucking worthless. And I've been super open about that, which I'm sure you know since you keep saying that you've watched my content, so you probably know that I was never going to accept a fight in the first place. Especially since you're, like, significantly taller than me, right? Like, it wouldn't make any sense. And even though you would probably beat me in a fight, you're certainly not beating me in, like, an aesthetic physique competition, because goddamn, I blow your ass out of the water. Look at this fucking anime character physique I'm rocking. Meanwhile, you're over here with that Abercrombie & Fitch from 1998. Now, in Sneako's credit, he did start going to the gym recently. Maybe I inspired him, and you know what? That's great. I'm glad I could have a positive impact on your life like that, Sneako. Getting into the gym is a fantastic thing, and you're going to feel so much better. And I know you'll start seeing results soon as long as you keep at it. And then finally, our last exchange goes very similarly to the others. You're not special from the other 10 soy boys who say the same thing. If you got a problem, stop talking on the internet. Let's solve it. So I said, got your Discord still working on responses? Brother, I have no problem. You started it and I made fun of you in return. You're upset about publicly admitting to cuckoldry and get mad at me for bringing it up. You should be mad at yourself instead. Have some self-reflection. Which it's true. I don't have a problem. You literally started it, Sneako, and you even asked your audience to let me know everything you said and send me your clips. You actually asked for a response, and then got super upset when my response was a little too mean to your feelings. How is that not the ultimate cuckoldry? Like, even more so than your girl getting clapped by 1,000 men. How? Like, how can you, with a straight face, still call other people soy boys? I'm not kidding, I really didn't want to keep talking about you, but you won't stop talking and crying about me. It's sad. I understand you have a humiliation fetish, so hopefully this whole thing has helped you orgasm one more time from all of it. I don't think it's fun dunking on you, Sneako. I don't. And I'm certainly not canceling you. But you keep doing this. So you forced my hand to make fun of you again. But anyway, that's about it. See ya. It's been a little while since we just looked at a good old-fashioned embarrassing live streamer, and boy do I have a special specimen to share with you all today. The clip I'm about to show you is brand new. It only happened like 2 days ago, but it feels vintage. It's an IRL public nuisance stream that really does feel straight out of 2018, back when that was a popular genre. It's long dead now, it's fizzled out, but back in like the 2018 era, a very popular category of streaming was IRL, and it was infested with these degenerate worms that would just create as much ruckus in public as they could, try and instigate confrontation, and just be an absolute fucking headache to everyone around them. And the bigger the blow up they could cause, the better the content. It's not popular anymore because the shtick wore off and now it's just kind of pathetic and lame. But just like this guy's hairstyle, he's stuck in the past. This is a 40-year-old man who has a hairstyle of a 14-year-old emo boy. And he is a Kick streamer, he's not a Twitch streamer, but he has risen to notoriety because he has been accused twice now of having sex live on stream at Kick with prostitutes. I haven't seen it myself, so I can't fully opine on that, but goddamn, really going hard on that IRL content.
You see that shit? It's fucking what we do.
Unironically blasting dubstep in a train right now. And then he says, he has the gall, the chutzpah, to say, "This is what we do." Brother, you are stuck 15 years in the past. Holy shit. This is like a video I would have seen on MySpace from a pathetic guy back then, let alone 2023. Jesus Christ. I still can't get over that goofy line. This is fucking what we do. What? Sit there awkwardly in silence while you blast shitty music throughout the train? Like, usually when you say something like that, like, this is what we do, it's right before you do something cool. Like, fucking base jumping, bungee jumping, going out to play in the championship basketball game, like, anything besides just sitting down and blasting dubstep. This guy kind of cements my belief that sometimes people are just born to be a lifelong loser, and there's really nothing you can do to help them or change that trajectory. They are just destined to be a fucking loser. It'd actually be pretty sad if this guy wasn't such an asshole. But you can see the people around him are clearly bothered by the loud dubstep that he is blaring here in this train for no reason other than to be a douchebag. He clearly believes he is the main character here and everyone else is just props for his IRL content. Just genuine filth.
You say it. Boy. You say it. Don't touch my shit. Don't touch me. Don't touch my shit. Don't touch me. Fuck you, pussy. Fuck you, pussy.
I think it's pretty clear that he's most likely drunk here. As I understand it, he also does coke on stream occasionally, so maybe a little mix of both, some alcohol, some coke in his system, and right now they're waging war inside of his body. But yeah, anyway, edgy Edna Mode here gets up in a hurry after someone touches his device, saying, "Don't touch my shit," and then calling him a fucking pussy as he waddles away, stumbles away. The people around him are already very tired of his presence here. Rightfully so. I imagine even when he's not streaming, he's still probably a very hard person to be around in general. Someone tried to get his attention, most likely to ask him to turn it down, but he ignored him, even though he could clearly hear him, I imagine. So, when that failed, someone else just tried to turn it off themselves.
Fuck you. These motherfuckers touching my shit. I can't get out of here. I can't go out. I just want to go out. Who the fuck do you think you are? What? Do you want me to turn down my volume? Yeah. That's all you pick in the train. That's all you have to say.
The way this goofball is behaving and the way he's speaking remind me of like an old 80s B-movie bad guy. Like really poorly acted, yet he's being real here, which is wild. Now he said if you wanted me to turn down the volume, all you had to do was ask. even though that was attempted and he just ignored him. I've seen a couple people make the argument that the guy shouldn't have reached for his phone to turn it off. He should have, like, tapped this guy on the shoulder first. And I guess that's fair to say. But it's not like I have any sympathy for the guy just touching the other dude's phone. He ignored the other guy. He's clearly doing this just to be a nuisance douchebag. Fucking touch his phone, turn it off. Like, fine. I'm not gonna get mad about that. And this guy doesn't have a right to get mad about it either, since this is the whole point of his content. He wanted to make a scene out of this because that's what it's all about for him. So he's getting exactly what he wanted. He doesn't really have a leg to stand on here with getting mad and aggressive. It's exactly what he was looking for.
Instead of being wait, I want to take English to you because you understand English, right? Nah. You know? Chotomate, ne. Speak English to me. Don't fucking Japanese to us, man.
Uh-oh, big guy's going insano style now. He's whipping out the Speak English card while he's in Japan. So he is now saying that they need to speak English to him, despite him being there in Japan.
Okay, bro. Daijoubu. You see that? You see what happened right here? Fucking motherfuckers. Chill. In English we say chill.
No, yes. In Japanese we say disappear.
Excellent de-escalation tactics here from this guy, truly a master of his craft. A real silver-tongued devil, I'll tell you what. So, a whole conflict that this guy started for the sake of his shitty stream has escalated to a point that now makes him uncomfortable. He seems very scared now that he's about to enter into a physical confrontation. So now he's just saying chill as he's retreating off the train instantly. Like, immediately, ASAP, getting the fuck out of there.
Why are you racist? You're racist.
I am fucking racist.
You are racist, right?
I am.
You're racist.
No.
You're racist, right? He said he was racist. He said it. You see, he said he was racist.
That is no racist.
Oh shit, stand back. This guy's using his alt. He's alting. He brought out the racist card somehow in this situation on the other guy, hitting him with that fucking crazy reverse. Good lord, out of nowhere, from the top turnbuckle, he tries to cry racism. Fucking wild maneuver here. Interesting tactics. I don't even know really where to begin on breaking that one down. I don't even think it's necessary. I think that one speaks for itself, honestly. Let the chess speak for itself in this case here, because goddamn. What an embarrassing sign-off to this whole situation. It goes on a little bit further where he, like, shakes this guy's hand, who's being, like, a little less aggressive than the other guy. He's like, oh, thanks for being nice, that guy's not nice. Even though he had every right to not be nice to this guy. Like, I think that's a totally reasonable response to a vermin like this who's just blasting music and refusing to turn it down when someone's trying to get their attention, and then has this huge blow up when you just take matters into your own hands and, like, turn it down for him. Like, I mean, fuck you. The whole point was the confrontation, right? So why are you gonna act all offended and upset all because a guy actually, you know, played along with what you've started? Anyway, that's really the whole situation. This is just one of those classic embarrassing IRL streamer moments that I thought was worth joking around about and at least, you know, talking about a little bit. It really does feel straight out of 2018, but believe it or not, this is a brand new clip from this week. So, that's interesting. That's really about it. So yeah. Twitch is a magical platform. Tons of crazy shit have happened on Twitch, like Dr. Disrespect's mysterious ban from the platform. The circumstances are still unknown and is an unexplained mystery, and Alex Jones level conspiracies exist on it to this day. There was a guy that fingered his butthole for a $20 tip. Recently, there was a girl that spread her pussy and asshole on stream. You just got to see the entire birth canal, and she, like, shoved her asshole right into the camera as if she was trying to let Twitch do a colonoscopy on her, like Twitch plays colorectal surgeon. Just a ton of wild, incredible things on Twitch. But one thing that is brand new and happening right now is a hostage situation. This dazzling young man is named Ludwig, and he's a dear friend of mine whom I miss greatly, and I think I speak for his family and his friends when I say It's not the same without you, Lud. All of those pictures you saw of that wonderful Boy Scout Ludwig were taken before his unfortunate kidnapping. Now, I'm going to break down the situation. Nearly a week ago now, Ludwig did what was called a subathon. Not reinventing the condom or anything too crazy, it's something that many Twitch streamers have done. But Ludwig, in his hubris, pushed it further than anyone had ever dared to dream. Ludwig did an uncapped subathon, meaning no matter what happens, he will continue to stream as long as subs are pouring in. So Ludwig set it up where every sub equals an extra 10 seconds added to the entire stream time. Uninterrupted, uncircumcised, never-ending stream. The Twitch chat smelt blood in the water. Like sharks, they were hungry, but instead of biting and taking things, they were giving things, giving money to Ludwig in order to keep the stream going, perpetually fueling it like the train from Snowpiercer. What happened is, subs continue to pour in, seemingly unstoppable, sub after sub, minute after minute added to the stream time, and now he has been streaming non-stop for over 6 days, with another 65 hours still remaining on the clock, and climbing. It is not going down. It is only reaching new heights. He's gone up nearly 300,000 followers on Twitch, over 50,000 subs in 6 days. Ludwig suffers from a condition known as success, and he is suffering greatly. Ludwig has to sleep on stream, shit on stream, shower on stream, all of this documented in front of 40 to 70,000 people, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Twitch chat is holding Ludwig hostage. It's fucking crazy. And on top of all this, every time Ludwig sleeps, which again has to be on stream, broadcast the entirety of his sleeping session, so no wet dreams will be able to fly under the radar should that occur. Every time he sleeps, it has to be in the bed from Uncut Gems, which is a race car. Not the most comfortable bed, and a little embarrassing, I might add. And Ludwig, every time he goes to sleep, is visited by the Tooth Fairy. If the Tooth Fairy was carrying a lot more than $1 to put under his pillow. I'm talking the Tooth Fairy carrying 10,000 subs. Every time Ludwig sleeps, his total time goes up by anywhere from 10 to 20 hours. Because every time he sleeps, the chat rallies to boost those numbers up even higher to try and make it so his stream genuinely never ends. I talked to Ludwig after our game show Hive Mind's conclusion last Wednesday, and he told me that he only expected this to go for 24 hours tops. He didn't think it would be a huge thing, and he certainly didn't think it would be him being held hostage. He is literally being held captive by the world's nicest jail guards, wardens. He is actually being smothered to death in money, unable to stop succeeding. I'm constantly asked, Charlie, do you feel bad for Ludwig? Fuck no. Are you kidding me? I mean, he's made like 350k. His channel has grown 3 times in average viewers. Like, he is on his way to being the biggest streamer on Twitch, and he absolutely deserves it. Ludwig is a great guy and a great streamer. Now, I would like to show you one clip, and I'll let you make your own conclusions on what you think of it.
No doubt.
How? Okay, when you say best sport, does it mean the most hype to watch?
Oh no.
Or what's up? What's the question all about?
I do.
Hey,
the one
what's
that
up,
I
bud?
care about most. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Well, at least this means that he's gotten a pretty decent amount of sleep, so that's good.
That makes one of us.
Yeah.
I don't even recognize the man in the video there. That's not Ludwig. That's a man in a Ludwig skin suit. You can see all the hope and happiness have left his eyes and been replaced by money, like Mr. Krabs. Every time he awakes, the timer is longer. You can see the fear setting in on him as it's washing over his entire body. And all the neurons firing, all alerting him to danger. Holy shit, the stream really may never end. What we see in this video is a very sad hostage situation if the hostage was being bathed in money. But it's still sad all the same. One of the wildest parts about this, for me personally, is I was actually talking to my stream about doing a subathon about a week or maybe 2 weeks before Ludwig did his, because another friend of mine had done one. Now, Ludwig's streams are like 5 or 6 times the size of my stream, so if I was to do a subathon, it would have never got to this level. But after watching Ludwig beta test it and guinea pig it for me, it's given me a lot to think about. Not that I was like super gung-ho on a subathon idea anyway, but it was just something I thought looked kind of cool. But what it really made me think about is how miserable or how weird would it be to have every second of your daily routine and your daily life broadcast to people constantly, like the Truman Show, but being aware of it. You know, every time he sleeps, he wakes up with the timer being longer for the time that he has to broadcast every second of his life. He can't have a meaningful interaction with somebody because it'd be on stream. He can't do a lot of personal shit because it's on stream. This is a man who hasn't jerked off in 6 days. This is a man who hasn't engaged in coitus in 6 days. How far will a man go? It is just interesting food for thought, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about this because I thought it was pretty fucking wild. And yeah, that's about it. See ya. Hope you've got some lube to spread around the rim of your asshole, because Lance is about to butt-fuck us with creativity here with a wild video. He puts a candy store in his house. Tag someone who you think would want this. There's billions of people I would tag right now. #relatable. What the fuck? Lance is just, he's unreal. He's gonna put candy in his house. Who does that? Who's crazy enough to fucking do that? I can't believe it. This is probably clickbait. There's no way he puts candy in his house. I just can't believe that. I'm gonna have to see it to believe it.
Man, wouldn't it be sick if we could just get all this candy inside of our house so we don't have to come here every day?
Yeah, Lance, that'd be the sickest shit in the universe. That'd be more dope and lit than the Ghoul Trooper skin in Fortnite, bro. It'd be almost as cool as if school was canceled for summer forever and we never had homework again. Damn, but it's just a shame there's not enough money in the world to pull that kind of stunt off. There's no one crazy enough to try to put all that candy in their home.
Yeah, but who would do that?
I mean, I'll do it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll do it right now. Let's do it.
What?
Let's do it right now,
What? Lock this maniac up right now. Throw him in the fucking slammer. That's wild. There's no way he's gonna pull it off. Okay, a gas station aisle worth of candy in your own home? It's impossible. Science said it couldn't be done. Is Lance gonna defy science? There's no way. There's no way.
Oh ho 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 ho, we found the aisle.
Hey.
Yeah, well, I'd fucking hope you could find the aisle since it's labeled as such. It's a goddamn store. Of course it's gonna show you where the candy aisle is. It's gonna have it on the sign. But Lance is over here smiling like he just found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or he just won the Heisman Trophy. I mean, it's not like he made a grand discovery like an archaeological big find here by locating the biggest aisle in the supermarket. Damn, did you see that goofy dance he did right there? That's Instagram comedy in a nutshell. Shit, that'll never fail to make me just bust a gut laughing. A real knee slapper, a real penis ejaculator. You gotta love those goofy dances, I tell you. They fucking suck. Jesus.
What if it's too much?
Yeah, we got a lot of candy. Oh my gosh! This is insane! I cannot believe I actually did this. Wow.
It's not that insane, Lance. You didn't even fully fill up 2 medium-sized shelves worth of candy. That's less than impressive. That's less than the gas station had. If I walked into a candy store and I saw that selection's worth of candy, I'd immediately walk out and start urinating on the facility. It's an insult. It's not a candy store. That's a candy shelf. That's just a kid that has a sugar addiction. That's like a normal, average American pantry right there. That's not a lot of candy, Lance. I'm not impressed. This pathetic hemorrhoid of sugar you've collected here, Lance, is an insult. This wouldn't even be enough to satisfy the trick-or-treaters on Halloween for a small American neighborhood.
Now, we need to get everyone's reaction. Look what we did.
What an exciting conclusion to this action-packed video here. Was that everyone? You had one person react? There's only one person in your life? That's like that episode of SpongeBob where he like paints people on his finger. Yep, the gang's all here. Except you just have one person in your life there. That was a sad way of ending it, Lance. But calling that shit a candy store is like calling this a library because I own 3 books. It's inaccurate. It's not a fucking candy store. And also, not to dabble in semantics, but it's not a store if it's in your own house and you're not paying for it. It's not a store. It's just a candy collection. Fucking idiot. But yeah, I mean, that was fucking wild. Yeah, I wouldn't have the courage. I'm not wild enough to install 2 shelves worth of some candy. I mean, hats off to you, man. He's a fucking hero. See ya.